Hey everybody, it's Trixie. Welcome to the underground. I really don't have anything to talk about as far as like what happened in my life. I had a pretty boring weekend. So today's the St. Patrick's Day parade in Holyoke, which is a huge thing. And Bridget Moynihan's going to be there, Tom Brady's ex. But I don't go. I went to the road race, like after the road race when everything was practically done because I had to work. I mean, I have no life. I was supposed to meet one of my friends there, and she's like, okay, text me when you get there. And then when I did, I had to take a freaking shuttle because I mean, they were parked on the ramps of the highway. These people are crazy. So I wanted to park safely. I parked at the college and then they shuttled me over. And when I got there, it was like, it wasn't over, but like everybody was bombed, of course. And I felt a little weird. I was like the only Italian there because it was St. Patrick's Day thing, the whole month. And everybody was green, which I guess, Celtic stuff and Irish stuff. And although I did enjoy one of the bands, it was kind of cool, but it was harrowing. I tried calling my friend. Of course, I was like, she wouldn't even hear me. And I hate getting ignored. I hate it when people don't text me back, but I guess the cell phone service wasn't working because I tried another friend and she's like, right before I left, hey, I was like, forget it. I'm getting back on the shuttle. The bus we got on, because it had to fill up before they could leave, smelled like a brewery. So I don't drink, so it was kind of like annoying for me, but that's my exciting weekend. I have nothing. But okay, let's get on with the news. Maybe next week I'll have more. I think next week's going to be fun. I'm supposed to take my work buddy. He works for another company, gutter company, and there's a huge home show right in our backyard, which I'm going to be at, which I kind of like enjoy. Isn't that like a sad state that I enjoy work? Because my social life is kind of like right now it's on a downturn because I'm always away, and my friends forgot about me. The disheveled Steve Bannon was on News Nation, and he told Chris Cuomo he's endorsing Donald Trump for president for 2028. I don't know if they do this to piss us off, us normal people, but I've already been saying this. He's not leaving. He's never leaving. And Chris said, there's this thing called the Constitution. And Steve goes, we're working on that. Yeah, we're working on shredding it. Trump's call with Putin, he's supposed to talk about Ukraine and all that. Putin made him wait for over an hour. Who's in charge of that relationship? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? The stock market has lost $5 trillion. I mean, I'm sorry, these notes are like a week old. I only do the show once a week. I can't keep up. $5 trillion. In 3 weeks since Trump's been president, and Bill Maher calls him the Ozempic of the economy. Bill Maher has a funny way of saying things. He's hysterical. On Axios.com, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says if seniors don't get their Social Security checks for a month, they won't complain. You want to put my mother through this because she's going to be calling me screaming that she needs money. And 12%, I think, of seniors out of the millions get it. Only have that, I mean, excuse me, but the government owes that check. I mean, how can he's a former Wall Street billionaire. Well, he's a billionaire. He's not a former billionaire, but he was a CEO on Wall Street. These people, only the best, right, Trump? I mean, he says only fraudsters would complain if they don't get their checks. Really? You don't know rich people that would complain if they don't get checks? They're the worst. I think that anybody who should not be in charge of people's money that thinks like that. This is why I don't think billionaires should be in charge. Not that they don't know how to be successful, but they don't have hearts or souls. Let's try somebody with a heart and soul. Maybe Trump doesn't know anybody. I don't know. Did you see when, how they're interviewing, or they push all the microphones to Trump to ask him a question? One fluffy microphone, like, hit him in the face, and Trump was trying to ignore it, but he gave the guy a glare. The guy's going to probably be deported. According to the New York Post, dystopian loyalty tracker. Listen to this one. It's a smart ring that notifies you if your partner's cheating. I kind of know that stuff anyway because I have that sense. Like, when something's off, or you just check their phones. No, just kidding. So if he gets an erection when you're not around, you can cut it off in his sleep. So yeah, I don't understand what it does, like how this ring can set off maybe endorphins or dopamine, something in his mind. I have no idea, but That's got to be bull. Kanye's new album cover. Guess what it is? A swastika. Let me tell you something. And we'll get into this more, but as much as I can't stand him, he's got a right to do this crap because it's like freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and I hate it. But like, you have to protect bad free speech because I love the First Amendment more than the Second Amendment. To me, the First Amendment is the most important, and we'll get into that. But Trump's trying to destroy it. A Texas man shot his fiance, Mexican born, of course. Before he shot her, he Googled, "Can I kill an illegal human?" This is like really twisted, some sick shit. And of course, that's why I prejudice against the state. I don't mean to say I'm prejudiced against the whole state, but you always hear these weird things in Texas and Florida. J.D. Vance in 2021 said professors are the enemy. Professors are the enemy. So college professors, really? They're the enemy. Elon Musk said 60 Minutes should do jail time. This is what I have, everybody's like, oh, he's a patriot. He's a patriot. Yeah, I'm sorry, but they're burning Teslas everywhere. When I see people driving Teslas, and they're mostly liberals, I don't think Republicans like Teslas. Maybe they do, but I mean, I wouldn't burn a Tesla or a charging station, but I understand how people are so pissed off that they're losing their jobs, but that's not the way to go. You can't do stuff like that, but the resistance. In a Department of Justice speech, Trump called CNN and MSNBC illegal for reporting negatively on him. Did you hear about that French scientist who they took his phone when he was trying to get into the country and he criticized Trump in his messages or something and they wouldn't let him in? I mean, what a great defender of free speech he is. See, I like free speech. Even if people say bad things about me, they can. The government prohibiting free speech is a problem. The college kid who got arrested by ICE, the Columbia, the guy that arranged Mahmoud Khalil. He arranged all those protests. Trump trying to deport him, even though he's got a green card. He's trying to revoke it. He said it's the first of many. So, okay, this is the problem, and we need to protect this. Although I don't agree with the kid, that I'm not into Hamas. I don't hate Israel. I mean, but again, it's okay, I guess. This is the thing. You can be anti-Semitic in this country. It's legal. You can do the Sig Heil. Yeah, because we've seen Elon do it. So Trump gave Columbia University a list of 9 items that were required before it would reconsider, that's extortion, the $400 million in funding that it owes to the school. And he's also doing this to 60 universities. They have to wear face masks. Used for the purpose of concealing your face, that's going to be prohibited, which I get it, because you want to do it to commit crimes. But I gotta say, I don't like this. You have to comply with me or else. It's like he's trying to get around the laws of it. Like, I'm going to withhold funding. Did anyone like ever think like he wouldn't do this? I mean, this is who he is. Again, I don't agree with what they're protesting and all that, but this is a right that we have in this country. Just like it's you're free to burn the American flag. Do I like it? Is it disrespectful? Yes. But you have the right to do it. And that's why soldiers fight for this right. I just think that freedom of speech, even speech that you hate, has to be protected. I'm going to read this because I was talking to my boss about that Holocaust quote that, a Protestant pastor said, Martin Niemöller, who was a Nazi sympathizer when it all began. He was a Lutheran pastor in Germany. And he said, first they came for the socialists and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. He ended up going in a concentration camp. This was a guy who believed in the Nazis. So no one's safe. That's what I was trying to tell people. Trump supporters, you're not safe. He'll come after you at some point. Forbes.com, the psychologist Mark Travers, 3 ways to get more confidence in love. Do you always feel like when I'm in love with somebody, I kind of feel like I'm insecure? Isn't that Billy Joel's song? When you love someone, you're always insecure. Okay. You don't measure experience. Don't worry. Who puts more effort into it? Sometimes one person, cares more than the other at certain points. Don't expect 50-50 all the time, as long as they show up when it matters. Pay attention to the relationship tone, feeling appreciated, and you're not drained when you start talking to them. Number 2, trust the emotional flow. Don't overanalyze. Ooh, I have a problem with overanalyze. Single moment. So focus on consistency. When they are reliable, they're always there for you. Do they make time for you? And is it quality? One short text doesn't matter. If you're mostly secure, go with it. Number 3, own your desirability. Have a strong sense of self. This, I think I'm getting good at. My looks, I don't really count on that to attract people. But my personality, and everybody says it all day long, every day when I'm working, is you got a great personality. So that kind of makes you attractive. Also, when you do things that are good, when you're good at your job, when you have a talent, that makes you more attractive. If you constantly seek reassurance, attention to feel worthy, it creates emotional dependence. And I have friends like this that are codependent, and it's not a healthy relationship. If you have confidence, you can handle challenges in your relationship. And yes, confidence gives you attractive. Okay, 7 text messages that are condescending from Lauren Palumbo, licensed psychotherapist. Kay, did you ever write that? I do that all the time. I've done that, and I was pissed because I did that when my friends were supposed to meet me yesterday, and they're like, "Oh," like when I was leaving. "Oh, you're here? Oh, don't bother." And I went, "Kay," because I was pissed. Thumbs up. I've done that. You're too tired to text kind of thing. Someone sends you a long droning text on, and you answer with a thumbs up. You're bored. I didn't realize I was such an asshole. 3, no offense, but I'm going to offend you. Google it. When you say Google it, like you're saying you dumbass. I don't have time to tell you. Number 5, you always do this. You're accusing somebody. Michelle Levo says it's insulting their character. She's a psychologist. Number 6, oh God, I do this all the time. I told you. I did that in the meeting. We had a meeting last week, and my managers, both of them, didn't know something. Yes, we do storm doors. Yes, we have transferable warranties. You know why? I listen. This is why I'm good, because I listen. I'm taught once, and I get it. Yeah, yikes. That's another one. I don't really do yikes. That's like cringing. Things can be clearly misunderstood in text, so maybe pick up the damn phone, you lazy ass. Supreme Court Justice John Roberts rebuked Trump's attack on that federal judge, James Boasberg. And what does Trump say? He called him a radical left lunatic? Yeah, that's his thing, right? He says he should be impeached. Oh yeah, you didn't agree with me? You should be impeached. Minnesota State Republican came up with legislation of Trump derangement syndrome, which I might suffer from, as a mental illness. Like, really, some of his supporters aren't mentally ill. And it's like the acute onset of paranoia, although it's not paranoia if it's true, in otherwise normal persons, that is in reaction to the policies and presidencies of Donald Trump. So hours later, the guy was arrested for like soliciting a minor. Nice, huh? These are nice followers of him. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, quick. Sutton on trial. Oh, yes, they were in St. Lucia. Bose freaked out because Dorit said she doesn't walk around naked in front of PK. I would do it, but I don't like flaunt my body at this point. I didn't flaunt my body when my body was good. Jennifer Tilly talked about how her husband never saw her naked. She said she'd arrange herself in the bed, like in a seductive way, say, "I'm ready," and then get up at 5 a.m. and brush her teeth. Oh my, you know what? Yeah, like in the beginning, and I don't like to have bad breath or to smell it on someone. So I kind of get that. And you kind of like, you know how like guys don't want to see you go to the bathroom, or like it kind of would ruin that relationship where you got to leave some mystery. And I like the beginning of a relationship. It's nice to have some comfort, but I don't know. I think that Joan Rivers used to say that men are dumb. Just put the covers on or take the lights out and they don't even know what's going on. But I like to see certain things. Like, I think it's more attractive when you're with somebody and you're looking at them and you can stare at them. I think that's attractive. Dorit brought up Sutton is mean. Erica chimed in with Sutton interrupted that she's not going to let them beat her with a stick. And Sutton was in the production you know how they have the production scenes where they're not with the group, and she says where they she says, Dorit, if you just shut up, I'm apologizing for calling you a broke. Oh my God. She's for calling you brokey, she wrote. But, you know, again, don't pick on someone and how much they make. That's terrible. And they all get it from their husbands. Bose saw Mauricio with a girl, which this is okay because they're separated. And then she said she's not cute, according to Bose. She wanted to push him into the water for Kyle. That's girl code right there. Garcelle brought up the tiptoeing around Morgan Wade. Oh, Garcelle, you love to stir the pot. She's great. She's kind of bi-curious. She said she's thought about a relationship with a woman. Yeah, somebody said that to me like twice. Two straight women have said, I think I'm going to go with a woman. I was like, no, they're not any better. You still have the same issues, and two hormonal women together? Not good, not good. Erica said Garcelle wants info on Kyle's private life. None of anyone's business. They think Morgan's the one who's trying to put the kibosh on it. And, you know, yes, we all want to know, but I kind of know that there's something going on. Jennifer Tilly, Kyle is teasing the press because she's seen it with Morgan's concerts, and you know, Tilly says you can go out without being photographed because you don't see like Jennifer Aniston getting these pictures, and if you don't want to be seen, you know how to do it. And Kyle said maybe one day I'll have a great story to tell. I mean, I give Kyle props for coming to terms with her sexuality and admitting it on national television. I don't know that I could have done that. Look at me now. I don't care. But in the beginning, I don't know. Kathy thought Jennifer Tilly was the help on the boat. She's like, can you get me that napkin? And is there any salad dressing? She doesn't know Jennifer Tilly's probably richer than she is. Erica laid into Sutton. She comes at you, Dorit, Kyle, and Erica, when you're at your worst time in your life, which is true. She went after Erica during that whole Tom Girardi trial and how he stole $20 million from those airplane crash victims, and then with Kyle when she was going through a divorce, or even before the divorce, she was accusing her of things. And then Dorit, oh boy, calling her broke. She called her a frenemy. Jennifer Tilly through all this was just guzzling booze. Kyle saying nothing. Garcelle was like, she doesn't have Sutton's back. Dorit's non-apology, she doesn't mean it. And Garcelle stayed silent, leaving Sutton to just get it. Okay, guys, that's it. I had a lot of energy during this one because I hope I have more personal stories. I know how you love my personal stuff. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Keep doing it. It's free. And thank you for all your support. I love you guys. See you next week.